Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we are making some bean stew with some fried plantain or fried cocoa. This is so simple and so delicious. Let's dive right in. But before we get into the video, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you so much. Let's dive right in. We'll begin by cooking our beans. I'm using black eyed peas here, and this is frozen beans. So I allowed the water to come to a boil. I'll now add it into the water, and I'll also add a little bit of yellow onions, chopped yellow onions, to add a bit of flavor to this, and we'll cook it until it's nice and tender. So over here, I'm going to scoop off the foam that is surfacing on top of the beans, and we'll discard that. At this point, I'm going to add about a quarter teaspoon of baking soda to help soften up the beans. This beans is really hard. It's like the Ghana one that we have. So I'll give it a stir. If you're using the regular one, the soft one, then you really don't need to add the baking soda. The onions should do. I'll now add some salt to taste. I'm using about half teaspoon of salt. Yeah, when cooking your beans, you don't want to add any salt initially or it's going to prolong your cooking time. I'll now add some hot water to it and help to cook this to get it to the softness that I want. Our beans is almost done cooking, so we'll proceed with our stew. I have some heated palm oil in my pan. I'm using Zomi Papa Pan, Angwa Papa Pan. So I'll add one large chopped red onion in there, give it a stir, and allow this to fry until it's nice and translucent. Our onions have been frying for about 3 minutes, so I'm now going to add in my spices. I have a teaspoon of mixed natural spices, half a teaspoon of ginger powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes. I'll add this to our onion mixture, give this a stir, and I'm also going to add some chili, cayenne pepper to this. Yeah, the pepper is according to your taste, and of course, the garlic and ginger, you can also use fresh here, but I just wanted something quick and simple to go. And I'll also add some salt to this and give this a stir and allow this to fry for about 30 seconds. Then we'll come in with our chopped tomatoes. All right, fam, we are back, and before we add in our tomatoes, I'm going to add in some black pepper to taste, and I'm adding in 2 cans of 14.5 ounce of tomatoes. This is chopped tomatoes, so I'll give this a stir and allow this to cook for about 10-15 minutes until it's nicely cooked through. You know, this doesn't take long. You can also use some fresh tomatoes here. Just chop it up or blend it up, whichever one you prefer, and we'll be back. 15 minutes later, this is how our sauce is looking, and I'm now going to add in some fish powder. This will add a lot of taste to our bean stew. I'm also going to add in some tuna flakes, which is the protein I'm using. You can use any type of fish that you like, and I'll give this a stir and allow this to go for about 10 more minutes. Taste for your salt. I need a bit more salt, so I'll add a pinch of salt to taste. Make sure you don't add too much. Remember, we have some salt in the beans as well, so be careful or be mindful of the amount of salt that you add at this stage. And I'll give this a stir, cover it, and allow it to cook or simmer gently for about 10 more minutes. Then we'll come back and add the beans. Our bean stew is almost ready, so we'll go ahead and prep our plantains to fry. I'll go ahead and peel this and cut it into my preferred shape and size. You can also do that as well. And then we'll add a pinch of salt to taste, just a little bit of salt, and add just a little bit of water and give everything a mix. And meanwhile, I'm also heating up some oil to fry this in. The oil is ready, so we'll begin frying our plantains, and you want to be careful as your oil is hot. You don't want it to get on you, so I'll drop the plantains in the oil and allow it to fry until it's nice and golden brown. Then we'll get it out of the oil. Let's now go back and check on our stew. This is what it's looking like. It's ready to receive our beans. So we'll transfer the beans into our sauce and give everything a mix until it incorporates beautifully together. You also want to taste for your seasoning, your salt and everything, and make sure everything is on point. I tasted for mine. My salt is good. So I'll cover this and allow it to simmer gently for about 10 minutes and we will be ready. 10 minutes later, our bean stew is ready. It looks nice and creamy. I did mash it a little bit. I forgot to mention, so it's nice and creamy. We'll go back and check on our plantains. It's ready all as well. We'll get it out of the oil and keep frying until we are through with frying, and we'll give everything a taste, which is always the best part. All right, fam, our food is ready and it's now time to dig in, which is always the best part about cooking, right? So I'll arrange some of the plantain onto our bean stew and we'll add some gari. If you have some avocado, add some slices on there. So delicious. I didn't have any, so this will do. The beans were so nice and creamy and the plantain was perfectly ripe. Yeah, it wasn't too ripe, which will soak up some excess oil. We don't want that, so we'll add our gari and give this a taste. And guys, this was amazing. That is it for today. Thank you so much for doing this with me, and until we meet again, stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and be well. Bye, y'all.